Well, here's a simple Starry pantry moment. Do you remember that video? I hope you do, that I created, oh, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago on the Off-Grid Homestead, how to can beans. No soak method. Well, if you haven't watched it and you want to learn how to can your beans without all that arduous task of soaking it ahead of time and doing crock pots and all that, you got to watch the video, because it's amazing how it's going to transform your life and your time. But if you are so now it's time to grab your beans from the pantry, and you notice something kind of peculiar. Your beans seem to be thick. They seem to be in a sludge. Don't panic, it's okay. Because what actually ends up happening during the canning process is those beans have like a gelling process that happens to the water that is used in the canning process. And so when you take your beans out, they're going to be kind of like a clump of, I don't know, a clump of sludge. And it's not going to look very pretty unless you know this trick. And this is really a Starry trick. I learned this after first starting to can my beans, and they came out in a big lump, and I thought, I'm supposed to make a bean burrito out of this? I'm supposed to put this in a casserole? And then, like, the light went on. And I've been doing this method for years and years and years. So what is the method? Well, come on over to the sink and I'll show you how to save your pantry beans from the sludge. And then you can use them right away. Canned beans are wonderful, but if you notice, when you can up, I don't care if it's black beans, pinto beans, if it is kidney beans, what happens after the canning process is they kind of get thick. They get this thick, and you look in there, I put a little water in there, but they solidify in a way. So when you take them out of the jar, just in this state to use them, they're really all mushy, and they've got that thick solidifying texture to. So there's a trick to actually taking your pantry beans and getting rid of all that solidification and that thick texture and restoring them back to what they originally should look like. So this is what I do. Sometimes it's even hard to get the beans out of the jar. So I end up putting a little bit of water in there, just like that. And then I strain my beans in my sink. And I do this with some cool water. And you can see the beans are coming out of there. And then you just continue to rinse your beans. And before you know it, all that thick, gelatinous stuff from canning is removed. And you have kidney beans. Now they're going to be a little bit mushy because, you know, that's what happens with the canning process. But your black beans and your pinto beans, your gazambo beans, I think I said that right, all of that will be restored so that that gelatinous stuff is completely gone. But you have to do a cold water rinse. And so many people miss this step, and then what ends up happening is they don't like what they see in their jars after they can, and then they try to take it out in this state, and it's an awful state because you really don't have black beans anymore. You have black beans with a solidified water in it. That's why you have to rinse them like this. So there you go. That is a Starry, simply Starry, pantry tip that'll restore your canned beans to basically its original form so you can use them in any of your recipes. All right. God bless, my friends.